What is up, y'all? This is Isba here to just give you his review of WWE, sorry, not WWE, TNA's No Surrender pay-per-view. No Surrender happened tonight, and pretty decent show, better than last month, and definitely better than the months beforehand. Nothing really standout, nothing really great, other than, of course, the ending of the main event. But match-wise, I'd say like there were a couple of good matches, but nothing really amazing, and a few things that they definitely could have done with it. So let's get right into it. Opening match was for the first ever Knockouts Tag Team Championships. It was Sarita and Tara Wilde versus Velvet Sky, Master and Rain. This match, in my eyes, it was just a mess. They kept it really short, which is a good thing. I wasn't really expecting too much out of it, anyways. The ending was like when Sarita hit like a drop kick on Rain, and then there was a German suplex by Taylor Wilde. So that was the ending. That was a nice ending. But the match itself was decent at best. I give it about a star and a half. So in that area. Up next was Eric Young versus Hernandez. Now we all know basically this was going to be a squash, and from the outcome of this, it was pretty obvious what Hernandez was going to do later on in the night. The reason why it basically became a squat was because Eric Young trailed on about his suit for so fucking long that it just became really, really annoying. Hernandez came out, squashed him in like a minute, and which was cool. But then it came down to the point where you knew what was going to happen at the end of the night. So I can't really rate the match, but the segment itself was pretty damn longer than it should have been. So, and I think that these guys should have had an actual match. So I think that these two guys could have had a very good match together. So, up next we had the match of the night. It is Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels. This was a really good match. Not as good as the matches they had back in like 2005, 2006 even, but you know, it was pretty good, pretty stiff match. Daniels did like a lot of high flying moves, which was cool. Daniels was his usual self. The finish was really, really cool, like a series of reverse. The last 2 minutes of the match were fantastic. The way that they, you know, like they did those series of reversals, counters into their own finishers. The muscle buster to like a last rites to like a dragon sleeper. But then that was countered to a choke by Joe for the finish. So that, like, up until the last 2 minutes, it was about a 3-star match, but just for the last 2 minutes itself, I'm giving it another half, so 3.5-star match. Very, very good match. But I expected more of these two guys, especially with 15 minutes on pay-per-view. So, yeah, and I just have to say, I did not like the fact that it did have a clean ending, since I did want these guys to have a bit of more of an extended feud, maybe have a match of Bound for Glory, but by the looks of having a clean finish here, it does not look like that's going to happen, so I don't know what they're going to throw at Joe for Bound for Glory, but hopefully it's something good, because I want to see a great match with him at Bound for Glory. So, up next, it was a match that was added just today, and I don't know why the fuck they added it. Pope D'Angelo, a.k.a. Elijah Burke, versus Suicide. Didn't really get into this match. You know, I don't like these 1999 style WWF hardcore matches that brawl all over the arena. They did like a spot with the golf cart, kind of. Well, it was just a cart there, but that was kind of like the WrestleMania 17 thing that Raven did with the Big Show and Kane. It was entertaining. If you're into this kind of match, I can see why you like it, but me, not my cup of tea. It did have a couple of nice spots. A few nights, like with the ring bell, I thought that was pretty cool when he dinged it. That actually looked like it hurt. But the table spot was really nice too. There wasn't anything spectacular or anything for the highlight reel, but it was pretty nice, pretty cool. Yeah, that was the end of the match. Suicide missed the leg drop. Pope D'Angelo covered him for the win. Nothing really like it. I give it about 2 stars, but again, that's just me. Not really my kind of match. If anyone gives it any higher, I could see why, because they like that style match a bit more. So, just coming from me though, just a 2-star match. Up next was ODB versus Cody Deaner. This was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was fun, let's just say. The crowd was really, really into this match. They were really into ODB. ODB is really, really over. So And I'm just really fucking glad they did not make Cody Deaner the Knockouts champ. So, match itself was alright. I give it about a star and 3/4. It was better than some of the stuff we'd already seen tonight, but uh, still nothing really that good. So, but yeah, like I said, the one thing they did do that's great with this is that they did not put the belt on Cody Deaner. Part of me was worried that they were going to do that, so just thank God they didn't. Up next, we had maybe the worst. Not like this was in my eyes worse than even, or at least on the same level as Abyss versus Kane versus Great Khali, but Abyss versus Kevin Nash. Boy, this was fucking horrible. This was worst match of the night and a definite candidate for non-women's, since there have been a lot of horrible women's matches this year, but this is definitely a candidate for non-women's worst match of the year. This was just fucking pathetic. Nash is horrible. I've said that many times, and this shows why he's horrible. He's very slow in the ring. These two have no chemistry together, none whatsoever. The ending I thought was really fucking stupid when Foley was trying to handle the barbed wire the wrong way for one thing, and Nash just friggin' counters it from there into a pin, and I thought that was a really bad ending, really horrible ending. And the stupid stuff with Dr. Stevie afterwards, I thought he was going to give Nash the money, but for some reason he didn't, so I don't know where that's going to lead it. But overall, storytelling-wise, match quality-wise, this was horrible. This was exactly, like, this was the worst match of the night, without a doubt, and like I said, a candidate for worst match of the year. This was very fucking bad. I think it was Meltzer who said it, and a few other guys, like, this is what makes TNA look like WCW 1999/2000. This was really bad. And the taser spot at the end, that's what I was trying to think of, was horribly done as well. So, I'm going to give this a dud. Sorry for people who thought it, but this is a fucking dud. Up next, we had Lethal Lockdown. It was, Scott Steiner, Booker T, and the British Invasion versus Beer Money Inc. and Team 3D. Now, Scott Steiner's promo beforehand I thought was really funny. It was really good, the way he was insulting them for not being part of the country. I thought that was pretty good. Really well done. Match itself, wasn't really into it. It was fine. It was okay. It was decent, but I think the formula has been done for this match a lot. When Bubba Ray was taken out and the faces were being dominated, the crowd completely basically died out. When they started using the weapons again, they got more into it, which is a good thing, but still nothing really eventful in the match, nothing really that good in the match, and I'd have to say this is probably the weakest Lethal Lockdown in a while, so I give it I'll give it 2.25, 2.5-ish area, but nothing really more than that, since there was nothing really eventful, like I said, in the match. So then up next was Bobby Lashley's debut match against Rhino. This was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a dud or a squash or something like that, but Rhino's promo on Impact, I have to say, was great. It was a great promo. But this match stuff, it was alright. It was alright. I like the how Lashley went for the spear, and then Rhino switched out. He hit the gore. The ref was down. Another one came in, counted the 1-2, and then nothing. I didn't like how it ended with the knockout punch, because that's like Big Show's thing, and Big Show's like a monster, so it kind of works for him a little bit. Lashley, not really. So I wish it would have ended with a spear. I give the match about a 1.25. Squash this area, but not much. Then there was the main event. It was Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles versus Matt Morgan versus Sting. AJ wins in a good match. Damn good match. AJ wins. He is champion again. Thank fucking God. The celebration afterwards was awesome and just added a lot to this match. They made it over to be a very important title change, which it is. And now it looks like it's going to be AJ versus Sting for the belt of Bound for Glory, which is exactly what it should be. But Sting, you walk out with the belt again. I am boycotting TNA forever. And I mean it this time. All in all, 3-star match, but awesome moment.